Good morning, everyone, and welcome to today's virtual training session. Thank you for joining on time. Today's discussion will focus on learning, the role of the brain in learning, and different learning theories that can help improve workplace performance and communication. I hope everyone participates actively and share their ideas throughout the session. Now, I hand over to our trainer.
Thank you. Let's begin by understanding what learning actually means. Learning is the process of gaining knowledge, skills, attitudes, or experience that leads to a change in behavior or performance. In the workplace, learning helps employees adapt to changes, improve productivity, and develop professionally. There are several important types of learning. First, cognitive learning. This involves thinking, understanding, problem solving, and remembering information. For example, employees use cognitive learning when they attend training sessions or learn new software systems. Second, associative learning. This occurs when behavior is linked with rewards or consequences. For instance, employees may become more motivated when they receive praise or incentive for good performance. Third, observational learning. This happens when people learn by watching others. A new employee may observe how and experiences colleagues to handles customers before performing the task independently.
That makes sense. So, observational learning is common during internship or onboarding periods, right?
Exactly. Many employees learn workplace culture, communication style, and technical skills simply by observing experiences staff.
I have a question. How does the brain actually influence learning?
That's a very good question. The brain plays a major role in storing, processing, and organizing information. When we repeat tasks or practice skills regularly, the brain strengthens neural connections, making the task easier over time. That's why practice and repetition are important in training.
So, the more we practicing something, the more efficient our brain becomes like doing it.
Yes, exactly. That process improves memory, understanding, and performance. Positive emotions and motivation also improve learning because the brain responds better when people feel engaged and confident.
How can we apply these learning theories in our daily work?
Great questions. Cognitive learning can help employees solve problems and make better decisions. Associative learning can improve motivation through rewards and recognitions. Observational learning is useful during teamwork because employees can learn effective communication and leadership skills from others.
I think observational learning is especially useful for new employees because watching experience workers helps reduce mistakes.
Absolutely. That's one reason mentoring and teamwork are important in organizations.
Thank you, everyone, for the excellent discussion. I believe we now have a clearer understanding of how learning works and how it can improve workplace performance. Let's continue to the next session.
Shaping behavior have four methods. It is positive reinforcement, negative reinforcement, punishment, and extinction. For positive reinforcement is providing a reward for a desired behavior. Second is negative reinforcement. Remove something annoying to make a good behavior happens more. For punishment, give a penalty to make a behavior
time I'm late in because today traffic jam.
Mashallah, this is the third time you've been late for this meeting. Being late affect the teamwork, you know. Because of this behavior keeps happening, you will receive a warning later. I hope you can improve your punctuality after this.
I understand. I apologize for my behavior. I will manage my time better from now on.
Good morning everyone. Today we will discuss perception and how judgment about others are formed. Perception is the process of interpreting and understanding information around us. However, our perceptions are not always accurate because they can influenced by factors such as past experience, cultural background, attitudes and expectations.
I think that happens quite often in workplace because people usually make quick judgments.
Yeah, it's true. Sometimes people create first impressions without having enough information. These impressions can affect how we communicate and work with others.
I actually experienced this before. I had a colleague who rarely talked during the meetings and usually keep quiet. Because of that, I thought he was unfriendly and not interested in working with the team.
That's interesting. What happened after that?
After working together on the project, I discovered that he was actually a very kind person. He was just shy and still adapting to the new work environment. He also said that he felt nervous speaking in front of the many people.
So, your first impression was wrong.
Yes, I completely wrong. I judged him too quickly and without understanding the real situation.
That's a very good example of perception affecting behavior. If we judge someone too quickly, it can influence the way we treat them and even affect the mood.
Are there common mistakes people make when judging others?
Yes, there are several shortcuts people use when making judgments. One common example is stereotypes, where people make assumptions about someone based on group they belong to rather than their individual characteristics.
Can you give an example?
For example, someone may assume a younger employee is inexperienced or assume a person from a certain background behaves in a particular way. These assumptions may not always be true.
I also heard about something called the halo effect.
Correct. The halo effect happens when one positive characteristic influences our overall judgment of a person. For example, if an employee is very friendly, people might automatically assume that person is also hardworking and highly capable even without evidence.
I understand now. How can we avoid making these mistakes?
We should gather more information about jumping to conclusions, focus on facts instead of assumptions, and remain open-minded before making judgments.
I think that can definitely improve our teamwork and communication.
Yes, because people will feel respected and understood.
Exactly. Better perception leads to stronger workplace relationships and more positive work environment. Thank you everyone for participating today.
Good morning everyone. Thank you for joining this meeting. Our company plans to launch a new customer feedback apps in 3 months. Before we begin, we need to decide on the best approach for this project. So let's discuss how decision making can help us.
I think we should use the rational decision-making process. First, we identify the problem, then gather information, generate alternatives, evaluate them, choose the best option, and finally implement and review the decision.
That sounds systematic. How will it apply to our project?
For example, we can research customer needs, compare different app features, calculate costs, and then choose the option that gives the best result within our budget.
I agree, but sometimes we face bounded rationality. We don't always have enough time, information, or resources to evaluate every option. In reality, we often choose a solution that is good enough rather than perfect.
Can you give us an example?
Sure, if we have only 1 week to select a software platform, we may not be able to compare every available option. Instead, we choose a available platform that meets most of our requirements.
That's true. Sometimes intuitive decision making is also useful. Experienced managers can make quick decisions based on their knowledge and past experience.
Can intuition really help in this area?
Yes, if a similar project was successful before, we can use those lessons to make faster decisions when unexpected issues arise.
Interesting point. So, which approach should we choose?
I suggest using rational decision making for major decisions.
And bounded rationality when time and information are limited.
Plus intuition for urgent situations that require quick responses.
Excellent. It seems the best approach to combine all three methods depending on the situation. Thank you everyone. Let's move forward with our project plan.